Hello, year 5, this is Miss Salma, and today we're going to be answering this reading comprehension. This is a poem, poetry. So what's a poem? We said before, a poem is like, it's like a song, and it's usually written, it's not usually to be sung, it's to just be read, recited, or said with a nice rhyming words and nice rhythm. So let's just get started, and let's read this poem that we have here. Its name is A Bird Came Down. Before we guys start reading, we said before that each group of lines after which there is a space, they're called something. They do have a name. So this group of lines we said before, and this is another group of lines, more, and so on. So each group of lines is called we mentioned it before on an online session, it's called a stanza, or we also call it verse. So again, this is verse or stanza number 1. Again, this is stanza 1 or verse number 1. And all right, and this one is number 2, and this one is 3, and 4, and then at the very end we have 5. So this poem consists of 5 stanzas. Each stanza is how many lines? Each stanza is 4 lines. Again, each stanza is 4 lines. All right, let's start reading. And while reading, we're going to try to find some imagery like personification, similes, metaphors, or even rhyming words, as we agreed before, or we already know from before that rhyming words are words that end with the same sound. Please, guys, it's the same sound, not the same spelling. Okay? So rhyming words are words that end with the same sound. Sometimes the same sound is produced by the same spelling, and sometimes it's by different spelling. Okay, let's start. Okay. So a bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. So the bird, he didn't know that the poet saw him. He bit an angleworm in halves. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And ate the fellow raw. Again, a bird came down the walk. He didn't know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. Fellow here means like the friend, which is the worm, referring back to the worm that the bird ate. And he ate it how? Raw. The meaning of raw is uncooked, like sushi. All right, so the meaning of raw is uncooked. Okay, we need to find one pair of rhyming words in this stanza, in stanza number 1. A bird came down the walk. We usually find rhyming words at the end of each line. So this is where we usually try to look for rhyming words. Walk, saw, halves, raw. So which 2 words rhyme here? Very good, it's saw and raw. And as we mentioned before, raw means uncooked. And then he drank a dew. A dew, I know you guys took it in science. It means the tiny water droplets on grass or on the plant. From a convenient grass, and then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then jumped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. So a beetle is another kind of insect. So again, he ate a worm, but did he eat the beetle? No, he didn't. He just let it pass. He hopped sidewise. He just cleared the way for the beetle to pass. 2 rhyming words in stanza number 2. Try to find any rhyming words here. Dew, grass, wall, and pass. Okay, very good. It's grass and pass. Grass and pass are 2 rhyming words. Okay, very good. Okay, we said saw and draw with red color here. And also we have grass and pass. He glanced with rapid eyes. Glanced means looked with rapid. Rapid means fast. Rapid eyes. What's meaning of fast eyes? Can somebody's eyes be fast? Yes, when you keep looking around you. That hurried all abroad. All abroad. What's the meaning of abroad? Abroad here means, well, abroad means like when you travel abroad, it means that you're traveling to a different country. You're not just traveling to Alexandria, Hurghada, North Coast. No, you're traveling to a different country. You're crossing, the borders. You're traveling abroad to a new country or a different country. So here it's saying that the bird kept looking around it very quickly with its eyes or with his eyes. In a very fast manner. Also, like it was like he scanned the whole place with his eyes. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. All right, so they look like frightened beads. What are they? What are we talking about in the stanza? He glanced with rapid eyes that harried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads. They, here, this pronoun refers back to his eyes. They look like frightened beads. Okay, what's the meaning of beads? Beads, I'm sorry. Well, let me show you a picture of beads. It's something that girls use to do like or make some handmade accessory. Yeah, colorful, circular things that girls use to make accessories. Let me just show you a picture here. Okay, so these are called beads. These little colorful things that we use to make accessories. All right, so they look like frightened beads. Oh, I believe you're not. Okay, I'm sorry. You couldn't see the picture. Now, these are the beads, the colorful things that we guys use to make accessories. So, what kind of sentence or what's the imagery used here? They looked like frightened beads. The bird's eyes looked like frightened beads. What kind of imagery or sentences here? It's so easy, guys. Frightened beads, they looked like. Very good. If you said a simile, very good. There is a simile here. It's comparing the rapid eyes to the beads using like, looked like. He stirred his velvet head. What's the meaning of a stir? Is to move in a circular or round motion, like when you are stirring a cup of tea or hot chocolate. You stir, you bring a spoon and you start stirring to make the sugar like dissolve in the hot water. So again, stirring is the action of moving your hands with a spoon, for example, in circular motions to make sugar or whatever substance you put there, like to mix something. His velvet head. What is velvet? Velvet is a kind of fabric that is very soft. It's a very soft fabric. They usually use it for dresses, sometimes jackets. Yeah. Head. So is the is the head of this bird velvet? Does the bird have velvet head or feathery head? Very good. It's full of feather, and feather is so soft too. So how soft the bird's head is looked like velvet. Again, velvet is the softest of all fabrics. So what kind of imagery or sentence is this? Is it a simile, personification, metaphor? what it is. What do you think? He stirred his velvet head. The bird's head is velvet. Comparing it to velvet because it's so soft. Okay, very good. If you said that it's a metaphor, because it's a metaphor. Comparing the head of the bird, the feather of the bird to velvet, because both of them are very soft, and here we did not use like or as. All right, moving on. Stanza number 4. I like one in danger, cautious, like one in danger. Who was in danger? The bird. The bird was cautious as if it was in danger. Again, here the sentence is like flipped. The original sentence was supposed to be he was cautious like one in danger. Like, again, he was cautious like when somebody is in danger. But here the poet just changed the order of the sentence to make it more poetic. They tend to like remove verbs and change the place of the subject and the verb and the object and everything. And the adjectives, like all components of a sentence. Like one in danger, cautious. I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. What's the meaning of I offered him a crumb? Crumb is like little pieces of bread, little pieces of bread, and they're usually like hard. They're not soft. Or even biscuits. Okay, so crumb is just little pieces, a small piece of bread, cake, or biscuit. So yeah. He unrolled his feathers. What's the meaning of unroll? So this thing here is a roll, and the bird, to unroll something is to like spread it. The bird now is unrolling its feather. So was the bird actually rolling its feathers so it would unroll it? So what's the meaning of he unrolled? The meaning of unrolled here, while reading any poem, you need to take good care of the words used and make sure you understand what they mean. Again, sometimes the literal translation, the exact meaning is not what's going to help you. Again, in poetry, there are lots of figurative meanings, imagery and descriptive language, metaphors and similes. So again, it's also like a metaphor that comparing that when the bird's wings were like not spread, they were rolled, but now he is unrolling them. So instead of using spread, here he spread his feathers. This is the meaning of the sentence. He spreaded his feathers and rode him softer home. What's the meaning of rode? I'll show you a picture of the action, but it's related to if you're driving a canoe or if you're sailing or rowing in a canoe or a boat, you use like two objects to sail or to move in the ocean or in the sea, right? So this movement is called row. Let me just show you a picture also. All right, guys, so here is the picture. This man here is rowing. So rowing is moving in the sea using these two blades or two objects. These two things are called oars. These two objects that we use to row in the sea or move in the sea are called oars. Okay, all right, let's get back. So, and rode him softer home. So again, rode him softer home. What rode him softer home? Oh. Well, okay, miss, I don't understand. What's moving in the sea has to do with the bird and the bird unrolling its feathers or spreading its feathers and flying. So what kind of sentence is this? These two sentences are like they do have an imagery. What kind of imagery is there? It's a metaphor. These two lines are a metaphor. And he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. What rode him? His feathers. So it is comparing, or his actually wings. It is comparing, or the poet, let's say the poet. The poet is comparing his wings to oars and comparing. Let's read the next two lines because they have to do with those lines that we're talking about. Rode him softer home than oars divide the ocean. Okay, with this line, these three lines. Oars divide the ocean. So again, we said that the poet is comparing his wings to oars, the two blades that we use for rowing or moving in the sea. Comparing also the sky to what? It's saying that the sky is like what? It's like the ocean. Very good. And the bird is what? The bird is a boat or a canoe. So now is the picture clear? Now you can imagine the bird like a boat, and the sky is like the sea, and the wings are like the oars of this boat that makes it move. So these three lines, all of them are a metaphor, and they're comparing the bird to a canoe, the sky to an ocean or sea, and the wings to oars, the two blades that we use to move in the sea. Two silver for a seam, or butterflies of banks of noon, leap plashless as they swim. All right. So the meaning of these lines is also, it keeps describing here how soft the bird was flying. And plashless means very smooth. Plashless means very smooth. As they swim. Okay, they smoothly swim. This is what this sentence wants to say. The canoe or the oars of the canoe are swimming plashlessly or smoothly. So yeah, here it wants to say that the bird is flying very smoothly. It's also describing how the bird was flying, and it was flying smoothly, plashless. All right, let's answer this question, guys. What is the poem about? A normal occurrence in nature of a bird searching for its food and its interaction with a human. A fight between a bird and a poet. A bird eating a beetle. A bird teaching others how to eat a worm. What is this about? It's about a normal occurrence in nature. But did the poet describe this normal occurrence normally using normal words? No, it used very powerful verbs, very powerful adjectives, and also some powerful similes, metaphors. So yeah, to make it more interesting. It didn't just say, the bird ate the worm and cut it into half, and it was very afraid and frightened and cautious. Oh my God, did I mention the meaning of cautious? I believe not. So cautious means to be careful. So the bird was taking care, was carefully like looking around it. Again, the bird was careful. Okay, so this is the meaning of cautious. And frightened means afraid. Frightened means afraid or scared. Okay, so. And where is the line that says there is an interaction with a human? When the poet said, I offered him a crown. And also when the poet said, I saw. A bird came down, he didn't know I saw. Okay. All right. Okay, question number 2. We're gonna need to find antonyms for the following words: careless, cooked, courageous. Courageous means brave, and slow from the poem. So the antonyms of these words are used in the poem. So we're going to look for now for careless. Careless, what's the opposite of careless? Careless means convenient or cautious. Yeah, so we have cautious, 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 and convenient. So what's the opposite of careless? The opposite of careless is cautious. Okay, so it could be B, it could be C, it could be D. Okay, second word, cooked. What's the opposite of cooked? It's raw or hurried or raw. So again, we already said A is not an option, so we're not going to look at A at all. So we said we have B, C, and D. Cooked, the opposite of cooked is hurried or raw. Of course, it's not hurried, so it's also not B now. We are only left with C and D because we have cautious and we have raw in both. Okay, third word, courageous means brave. The opposite of courageous or brave is hopped or frightened. The opposite of courageous is frightened. Very good. And slow here means rapid in both. So again, the right answer here of this question is D. As we said, courageous, the opposite of it is not hopped, so it's of course not C. It is D. Cautious, raw, frightened, and rapid. Okay, next. All right. The bird. Number 3. What did the bird do with its feathers? The bird cleaned its feathers. The bird spread out its feathers and flew. The bird used the feathers to protect itself. The bird used the feathers to push the beetle. Okay, you are correct if you say the bird spread out its feathers and flew, because we said the bird unrolled its feathers. The bird did not do which of the following? Cook the worm and eat it, let the beetle pass, unroll his feathers, glance with rapid eyes. Which one of these did not, the bird did not do? Very good, it's cook the worm and eat it. He didn't do this one, he just ate it raw. Which of the following is a metaphor? A bird came down the walk, he stirred his velvet eyes. I'm sorry, this one should be heads. Head. He stirred his velvet head. He bit an angry worm in half, and then he hopped sidewise to the wall. Which one is a metaphor? Very good. If you say it's B. B is a metaphor comparing the velvet head or his soft feather head is like velvet, which is like the softest fabric of all fabrics. Okay, question number 6. Again, guys, we said the answers to these questions were number 3 is B, 4 is A, 5 B. The last one is they look like frightened beads. What figure of speech is used here? And we already answered this during the poem when reading the poem. It is B as well. It's a synonym. They look like frightened beads. At some point, it also has a personification. So in this sense, or in this case, you can choose 2 only if, yeah. So yeah, you can choose 2 in this sense if it really does mean something. What's the personification in this sentence? It's frightened beads. Can beads be frightened or can be brave or afraid? Beads are not a person. It's an object, and objects can't feel anything. So here it's also a personification because of the frightened beads part, and it's a simile because of like, looked like. All right, guys, so this was all for today. And by the way, I already uploaded the answer key of the model answer of this revision sheet, the whole revision sheet. I hope you found it useful. I hope you understood this lesson with all the imagery examples we read. I wish you now are able to read poems in the right way because, again, you need to focus with imagery. Always think, don't get lost with words because, okay, we're talking about a bird and then all of a sudden we talk about ocean. No, 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 don't feel lost at all. Just try to find a connection, something that connects the bird and the ocean. And here it is. It says here, rowed him softer home is the key. Rowing is moving in the sea, then oars. Oars are the blades that people on boats or canoe use to move in the sea. And here the oars or the movement of this thing feels like it's dividing the ocean. They're not also literally dividing the ocean. It just looks like that the oars, when they go down, looks like that they're cutting the ocean or dividing it. So again, it's all about imagery. And I hope this was useful. See you next time. Goodbye.